Daniel loved Sarah with all luxury, trust, dreams. But a cruel text, "I found someone else," shattered it. Betrayal and vengeance collide as secrets unravel. Can love survive? I'm Daniel, 32, and life was feeling pretty damn good for a while. I run a tech consulting firm I started back in my mid-20s, just me and a second-hand laptop in a cramped apartment. Those early years were brutal. 80-hour weeks, living off instant noodles, every penny going back into the business. I was a ball of anxiety, always one bad pitch away from collapse. But about 2 years ago, I landed a major client in software logistics, then another. Suddenly, my little niche was printing money. Not private jet rich, but enough to afford a nice condo, decent suits, and the kind of stability I'd only dreamed of. That's when Sarah walked into my life. She was 29, working as a barista at this artsy coffee shop downtown. But her heart was in graphic design. She'd light up talking about color palettes, brand identities, dreaming of freelancing, or maybe running her own studio. I met her on a random Tuesday, grabbing coffee between client calls. She sketched a logo on my napkin as a joke, and I was hooked. Sarah was this burst of color in my grayscale world of spreadsheets and deadlines. We started dating, and it felt like everything clicked. A few months in, I saw how much her job drained her. Long shifts, rude customers, barely enough cash to cover rent. One night, over takeout sushi at my place, she vented about missing a design workshop because of work. I looked at her, eyes tired but still sparkling with ambition, and said, "Quit. Focus on your art. Take courses, build your portfolio, go to those networking events. I'll cover you." She stared, thinking I was nuts, then teared up. It wasn't just about money. I believed in her. We were a team, building a future together. So I set her up. Rented a sleek loft in the artsy district, $3,200 a month, all exposed brick and big windows perfect for her sketches. Leased her a BMW 3 Series, $700 a month, so she could zip to gigs in style. Added her as an authorized user on my credit cards, no limits. Designer software, clothes, art supplies, her phone plan, streaming subscriptions. I covered it all. It felt right, like I was investing in us. I'd spent years grinding. Now I could share the rewards with someone I loved. Our routine was solid. I'd work from my home office or meet clients, while Sarah hit up co-working spaces or cafes, hustling to build her network. Evenings, we'd cook pasta or try new restaurants. She'd show me her latest designs, and I'd give my amateur feedback, which she pretended to appreciate. Her friends, artsy types like Jessica, a photographer, and Ethan, a web developer, became part of my world too. They'd tease me for being the suit in their crew, but it was all love. My brother Miguel, always the skeptic, would grin and say, "You're whipped, man, but she seems worth it." Trust was the foundation. I never checked her card statements. I just paid them. My job's all about micromanaging for clients, but at home, I wanted ease. Sarah thrived. Her portfolio grew, she landed an unpaid internship at a boutique design firm, and we celebrated with cheap wine and big dreams. We talked about merging our worlds someday. Her designs, my tech expertise, maybe a startup. It felt like we were on the same page, climbing together. Last Christmas, we hosted a party at the loft. Her dad, a quiet construction worker named Tom, pulled me aside. "Thanks for giving her a shot at her dreams," he said, clapping my shoulder. It hit me deep. My parents came too, and my mom adored Sarah's energy. Everything felt stable: work, love, life. I even bought her a custom necklace for our 3rd anniversary, a simple silver chain with her birthstone, an emerald. I was excited to surprise her. Looking back, those 3 years were my bubble. Business was booming. Sarah was chasing her passion, and I thought we were unbreakable. The loft was filled with her sketches, our photos on the fridge, little notes she'd leave me. It was normal, comfortable, maybe too perfect. I didn't see the cracks forming, not yet. Life felt like a well-oiled machine, humming along without a hitch. Things started feeling off a few months ago, like a song slightly out of tune. Sarah was still her vibrant self, but something was shifting. She'd come home later from networking events, hair messy, eyes avoiding mine. I'd ask about her day, and she'd shrug. Just met some industry folks. No stories, no excitement like before. I told myself it was stress. Her internship was demanding and she was juggling online courses. But my gut whispered otherwise. Her phone habits changed, too. It used to sit on the counter, buzzing with notifications I'd ignore. Now it was glued to her hand or flipped face down. One night, while she was grabbing a shower, it lit up, a text from Marcus with a winking emoji. My stomach twisted, but I didn't snoop. When I mentioned it casually, she laughed. "Oh, he's just a designer giving me feedback." Plausible, sure, but the way she clutched her phone afterward didn't sit right. My work trips made it worse. I'd be away for a few days, consulting in another city, and her texts were short, almost cold. No more "miss you" or late-night calls. When I'd get back, she'd be overly sweet, like she was making up for something. Date nights faded, too. We went from weekly sushi runs to her saying, "I'm too wiped from sketching." I'd nod, but the distance stung. I started noticing other things. Charges on the credit card for places we never went. A cocktail bar, a boutique hotel. I asked about a $200 dinner charge, and she said it was a client meeting. I wanted to believe her, but doubts crept in like fog. She'd mention new friends from the design scene, people I'd never met, like this Marcus guy. Once, she bailed on dinner with Miguel and his wife, Valeria, claiming a deadline. Later, I saw an Instagram story, her at a rooftop bar laughing with strangers. Internally, I was a mess. Was I paranoid? I'd given her everything: freedom, support, trust. But the signs piled up. She'd get defensive when I asked about her day, snapping, "Why do you need to know every detail?" It wasn't like her. I'd lie awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying conversations. Part of me wanted to check her phone, but that felt like crossing a line. I hated the idea of being that guy. My brother Miguel noticed, too. Over beers one night, he asked, "She acting weird with you? You seem off." I brushed it off, but his words stuck. Sarah Ass' internship was going well. She'd landed a project with a big client, but she seemed distracted, not excited. At a gallery event I tagged along to, she spent half the night talking to Marcus, a tall guy with a flashy watch, while I stood there like an idiot holding her drink. The tension built slowly. I planned our anniversary to fix things. Reservations at her favorite Italian spot, that emerald necklace wrapped in my drawer. But the closer it got, the more distant she felt. One night, over dinner, she barely ate, staring at her plate. "Everything okay?" I asked. She smiled thinly. "Yeah, just thinking about the future." Her words hung heavy, vague, like a warning I didn't want to hear. I kept quiet, hoping it was a phase. Maybe she was overwhelmed, chasing her dreams. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. The trust we'd built felt shaky, like a house with a cracked foundation. I wasn't ready to confront it, not yet, but the doubts were screaming louder every day. Our anniversary was supposed to be perfect. I got home early, flowers in hand, the necklace in my pocket, ready to surprise Sarah at the loft. But the place was empty. No note, no text. I called her, no answer. Around 7:15 p.m., my phone buzzed. Her message hit like a sledgehammer. "I found someone else. I don't want anything more with you." No explanation, no softening the blow, just those words, cold and final, staring back at me. I sank onto the couch, heart racing, the flowers dropping to the floor. Denial kicked in first. Was this a prank? A misunderstanding? But the text was clear, brutal. 3 years of building a life together, gone in a sentence. I wanted to fire back. Who? Why? What did I do? But something stopped me. A strange calm, like the eye of a storm. I needed answers, not questions. I grabbed my laptop, hands shaking, and logged into our shared accounts. Credit card statements told a story I hadn't seen. Charges for dinners at upscale restaurants we never visited, a $500 hotel stay when I was in Chicago for work, even spa weekends. Not art supplies or course fees, romantic getaways. My chest tightened as the pieces clicked. Marcus, that designer with the winking emojis, was no collaborator. I dug deeper. Her internship emails showed missed meetings, vague excuses to her coordinator, but her Instagram, which I rarely checked, was a goldmine. Photos from networking events showed her with Marcus, his arm around her, her laughing in a way she hadn't with me in months. One post, tagged at a wine bar, was dated the night she'd claimed to be crashing early. My stomach churned. I needed proof, something undeniable. I drove to her design firm, heart pounding. Her BMW was in the lot. Through the window, I saw her with Marcus, sharing coffee, her hand on his arm. They looked like a couple, comfortable, intimate. The betrayal hit like a physical blow, leaving me breathless. I sat in my car, gripping the wheel, anger and hurt battling inside me. Back home, I paced the loft, surrounded by her sketches, our photos. It all felt like a lie. She'd used my support, rent, car, cards, to build a new life behind my back. The realization stung. I'd been funding her betrayal. Every late night, every vague excuse was her stepping away from me toward him. The shock turned to clarity. I wasn't just hurt. I was done. No more playing the fool. I left the necklace on the counter, grabbed a bag, and headed to Miguel's place. My mind was already shifting, how to protect myself, cut ties, move forward. The life I thought we had was a mirage, and I needed to face it head-on. The discovery wasn't just the text. It was the unraveling of 1,000 lies. I saw our past in a new light, every smile, every promise, tainted. But it also lit a fire. I wasn't going to let this break me. I'd find out everything and take back control, no matter what it took. At Miguel's, I went into problem-solving mode. I replied to Sarah's text, "As you wish." Then I got to work. Logged into the bank, removed her from my credit cards, deactivation instant. The BMW lease in my name had auto payments. I canceled them. The loft's lease was mine, too. I emailed the landlord, invoking the 60-day termination clause, 2 months rent penalty. Netflix, Spotify, her phone plan, gym membership. I changed passwords, removed her access. It took 45 minutes, like flipping a switch on our life. A week later, the fallout hit. Sarah's texts started, confused, then furious. "My card got declined. My stuff's in the loft." I didn't respond. Then came an email from her lawyer, Valeria, accusing me of maliciously withdrawing support and threatening a lawsuit for emotional and professional damages. I hired Ethan, a family friend and lawyer who doesn't mess around. He read their email and laughed. No marriage, no joint assets, just gifts you stopped giving. They've got nothing. Valeria pushed a transitional support settlement, 6 months of rent and car payments, plus a $15,000 lump sum to avoid litigation. Ethan called it extortion and drafted a response. Sarah ended the relationship, so my support ended too. Case closed. But the real drama came during the stuff pickup. I hired movers, set a supervised time for Sarah to grab her personal items. She showed up early with Marcus, a slick real estate agent in a tailored suit trying to charm the movers. They demanded furniture, my custom desk, the OLED TV, even the bed. "Those were gifts," Sarah insisted, voice shrill. Marcus backed her up, saying, "We'll take what's ours." The movers, pros I'd paid well, shut it down. Ethan arrived, receipts in hand, proving I owned everything. Sarah's face fell, but they trashed the place, scratched walls, spilled coffee on the rug. The landlord billed me $800 for damages. Then the twist. Sarah posted online, a tearful selfie with a caption about escaping a financially abusive relationship. "A survivor," she wrote, painting me as a controlling monster. Friends sent me screenshots, stunned. Ethan prepped a cease and desist for defamation, citing her posts. Marcus texted me directly, "You'll pay for this." I forwarded it to Ethan, who was thrilled. Direct contact after legal counsel was a rookie mistake. The confrontation wasn't just the pickup chaos. Her lies spread, but backfired. Jessica, her photographer friend, messaged me, apologizing. "She's spiraling, Dan. Nobody believes her." The design community started whispering. Sarah's reputation was tanking. She thought she could spin the narrative, but it was slipping. I arranged a final supervised pickup for her clothes and art supplies, with Ethan present. Sarah barely looked at me, Marcus glaring like I'd stolen something. The audacity floored me. She'd betrayed me, yet acted like the victim. But I stayed calm, knowing the truth was on my side. The consequences hit Sarah like a freight train. Her internship fired her after the Parlor Survivor post spread. The design world is small, reputation is everything, and her lies painted her as toxic. Marcus, her new guy, was no savior. Turns out he was a real estate agent drowning in debt, his flashy lifestyle all smoke and mirrors. Their relationship buckled under the pressure. No more loft, no BMW, just bills and drama. They split in a messy fight, according to mutual friends. Sarah moved back to her parents' house, a small suburban place. The BMW got repossessed after missed payments. Her dad, Tom, posted a raw Facebook rant, not naming me but clear as day. He called her out for ditching a good man for a fraud who couldn't deliver. "She had a ladder to her dreams and chose to jump off," he wrote. The post went viral in their circles, and Sarah lost most of her friends, her art dreams buried under retail shifts to pay debts. For me, closure came in waves. I donated the loft's furniture to a charity for families starting over. Watching the truck drive away felt like shedding dead weight. I paid the lease penalty, settled the damage bill, and moved into a smaller place downtown. Work kept me grounded. New clients, bigger projects. I hit the gym, reconnected with Miguel and Valeria, even started hiking on weekends. The anger faded, leaving a quiet strength. Ethan handled the legal mess. Valeria's threats fizzled. No lawsuit materialized. We filed a small claim for the apartment damages and won, a small victory. Sarah's online posts stopped after the cease and desist, her narrative collapsing under scrutiny. A final surprise, Chloe, a curator Sarah worked with, emailed me. "I saw through her story," she wrote. "You didn't deserve this." We met for coffee, just talking art and life. It reminded me not everyone's out to take. The biggest shock was how it all unraveled naturally. I didn't need revenge. Sarah's choices did the work. Her internship loss, Marcus's exit, her dad's public call-out, gravity, not justice, brought her down. I felt no joy, just a calm sense of order restored. Reflecting now, I see the lesson. Support someone's dreams, but never at the cost of your own worth. I trusted too blindly, gave too freely. Now I verify before I believe, set boundaries, and value myself first. It's not cynical. It's survival. Life's good again. My business is thriving. I'm dating casually, no rush. Miguel jokes I'm back to my old self, but wiser. I don't check Sarah's socials anymore. She's a closed chapter. The necklace, I sold it, used the cash for a weekend trip with friends. Freedom feels better than any jewel. In the end, betrayal taught me resilience. People can take what you give, but they can't take your core. I rebuilt, stronger, and learned that trust is a two-way street. Gravity does the rest.